Thank you. My name is Mark Ludwig. I do want to thank the members of the committee for taking the time to hear this issue, an extremely important one. Without going into all the details, out of respect for my son and his right to love his mom, shortly after my son was born, I went 204 days without seeing my son. At the end of that time, I was relegated to the equivalent of an every other weekend visitor. Shortly after that, I was diagnosed with a pretty large growth in my brain. We didn't know what my future was going to be like. And it dawned on me at that point, if something were to happen to me, my son's mom would automatically get sole custody. But it also dawned on me, if the situation had been reversed, I would have automatically gotten sole custody of the very son that I was already only getting every other weekend. Why would it take the death of a parent to convert from an every other weekend visitor to having full custody of a child? If that's the case, shouldn't both parents have 50-50? As a result of my story being televised on a news station in St. Louis, my story went viral. I think it's been 30 million views or something like that. And I started doing a lot of Facebook Lives. And my reach now is around 3 to 4 million in an average month. This past year I did a tour of 38 cities in 24 states. And this isn't about me at all. This is about a fact that obviously this issue resonates. If we're attracting 3 to 4 million people every single month that are paying attention to this, and as you look behind me at all the people that are affected, this is resonating, and it's the only issue in 30 years that I've been around the political arena that crosses gender lines, crosses racial lines, crosses political lines, crosses socioeconomic lines. It affects everybody, because we already know half of all marriages end in divorce. And for children, they have two traumas that they're dealing with. Trauma one is mom and dad aren't together. They don't know why, but they're very confused because they love both of them. Now add into that confusion, only one of them do they get to see on a regular basis. The other one is relegated as a visitor, which makes one parent in their mind the superior parent and one parent's the inferior parent. Now imagine that to a 7-year-old child or a 5-year-old child that doesn't know how to verbalize this confusion. And we wonder why, when we look at the statistics, between 70 and 94% of violent crime rates, incarceration rates, high school dropouts, behavioral problems, substance abuse problems can all be tracked to growing up, in many cases without the father. But this is technically gender neutral. I'll fight just as hard for a mother as I will for a father. But the situation can be solved so easy by starting the case with a 50-50. In every other area of law, we start out with a due process that says people are innocent until proven guilty. And yet we walk into a courtroom and one parent is presumed to have the upper hand in most cases. Many of my followers and just about everybody in the room behind me will verify, most people I talk to say, you know what, I didn't have as much animosity for my ex until I met with my first family law attorney. And they told me that, look, in our state, you're probably not going to get 50-50. One of you is going to win, and one of you is going to lose. So unless you want to be the one that loses, you better start digging up dirt to prove why you're the better parent. And that creates this adversarial relationship, and that's why these court cases are drug out for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, a year. That's why, as we just heard, people settle. People aren't settling because they're glad that the arrangement, they're settling because they ran out of money and they don't have an attorney to keep fighting for them. Can you imagine how different it would be if those parents would walk into an attorney and the first words out of that attorney's mouth are, look, in our state, you're probably both going to get 50-50. So you might want to learn how to work together and how to co-parent for the betterment of your child. And now all that money, instead of going to the attorney's college fund, can go to their own college fund for their own kids, instead of having one parent ripped out of that child's life. And so to continue on a path, and not in any way putting down the previous speakers, but to think that we're doing okay with our children across America and in the state of Pennsylvania, that people are settling and everything is fine, is almost like Mr. Magoo driving down the street thinking that everything's fine while everybody's running off the road behind him because he's cutting them off. That's the situation that we're in right now. So I thank you so much for taking the time to hear this case, but I beg of you, please, for the kids of Pennsylvania, give them a chance to not have one of their parents ripped out of their lives. Thanks so much.